Hey everybody, welcome back for another brand new video about that show that brings people together just to kill them off one by one, The Walking Dead. Warning, beyond this point there are spoilers for people who are not up to date in The Walking Dead television series as well as the comics. In this video, we're going to give you our binge breakdown of the brand new sneak peek for the series finale that just aired on the second to last episode of The Talking Dead. There are also a bunch of promotional photos posted online that seem to confirm a major death. We will be giving you a Rampage recap of those pictures and what they might mean for episode 24. We're also going to go over the very bittersweet behind the scenes special that came out prior to the penultimate episode airing and talk about the spectacular Talking Dead event that's going down next Sunday night. After that, we're going to briefly explain the other major spoilers that are out there for next episode, and we are going to show you some evidence we found that we believe discredits these spoilers. Finally, we're going to give you our Rampage recap of a very specific update by our source for the last set of spoilers, and it's all about Rick Grimes. Before we get into the possible Rick apocalypse, let's take a look at this sneak peek.
Binge.
This first shot of the sneak peek tells us a couple things. One, that Eugene, Gabe, and Rosita have all gotten out of that sticky cliffhanger in the alley from last episode. It also tells us that the trio has seemingly found Coco and Rosita is panicking because in the next shot we see there has been a bloodbath in this apartment which appears to be some kind of Commonwealth nursery for infants and toddlers. Just as Rosita appears to think her baby might be dead, she hears little Coco cry and those motherly instincts kick right in. As Ro runs down the hall, we see she is carrying her spiked sword, which was noticeable in this shot from the trailer, which many of us have been debating exactly who the jumping person is. The weapon doesn't confirm it's Rosita, as Eugene or someone else could have picked up her weapon, but it tells us that it definitely still could be Trooper Espinosa. In the next shot, we see that Eugene and Gabe are concerned, but they don't follow Rosita first, they take the time to double tap. Way to follow Zombieland rules, guys. The sneak peek cuts to a terrifying shot of baby Coco in an upside down crib that is kind of serving as a cage for the poor little kid. A walker is about to make the baby into a quick snack when her mama comes busting through the door. As Rosita goes to save her kid, she is grabbed by a walker, but the speed in which this walker moves tells us it's another variant. How did so many variants end up in the last few episodes? We're working on a theory for that doesn't involve poor writing. Rose shows off her lightning fast reflexes as she kicks the grabber, then brains the other walker with her sword before making a questionable move by firing on the variant walker. We think Rosita should have tried to stab this last one instead of risking blowing out the baby's eardrums. We do think this reaction may be due to her whisperer killing instincts, which makes sense. Either way, after that one, Coco's mom finally goes for the zombie closest to the baby and uses that gun again. Poor Coco is gonna need a hearing aid. The scene ends with Rosita lifting the crib and freeing her baby daughter. We wish we could have seen that heartfelt reunion moment, but it will feel even better when we get to watch it live in the finale. What do you think? Can Ro just survive somehow? Are all the spoilers wrong? Now it's time to take a look at these photos from the episode, and there does seem to be a confirmed death, people. The first photo shows Daryl getting a gurney ready, obviously for the injured Judith. This pic here shows Team Magna barricading a door that matches this shot with Daryl from the trailer. How many smart walkers have gotten in? Can they enter key codes now? The next shot seems to be connected to the previous one, as a calm and collected Carol is assessing some situation while the walkers are just trying to eat. After that photo, we get one of Judith resting. She doesn't look too bad. Where exactly was she hit? How much blood has she lost? We definitely believe Judith will survive, although there are rumors going around she will die too. Here we get a pic sequence with Negan and Maggie maybe huddling around the dead city plants. Negan looks very serious here. In this shot, however, Negan looks heartbroken. Does this mean that Annie has died? The only other deaths that would make him this sad would be Lydia or Judith, so it's still up in the air. Speaking of a conflicted guy, this picture shows a beat up Father Gabriel looking stoically at something. Is this where Rosita gets Coco back, or another dire situation? Will the priest defy all odds and make it to the end? We wonder if this photo here is significant. It appears to be a gratuitous walker shot, but who is that walker eating? Is it one of our favorite survivors? The next pic shows Eugene and Gabriel creeping around with guns. Who are they looking for? Where is Rosita? This moment here seems to be later in the episode as Judith is walking again. Is it possible she wasn't badly hurt after the initial impact? Is she going to go join another gunfight? Sorry, but Daryl shouldn't have let her go. The next few photos are at night, with the first one showing Yumiko in action and what appears to possibly be some kind of explosives. On World Beyond, we saw the CRM using massive amounts of explosives. Is this the Commonwealth's version of that? Or is this proof of a CRM connection? We do believe there has to be a connection, but we are unsure if we will really see any of that in this next episode, aside from the post-credit scene. The pic after that seems to be in the same setting, and we're thinking this is one of the Commonwealth's secret arsenals or something else important to Pamela's plans. Magna looks like she's ready to shut that down real quick. Following that, we see a handful of stormtroopers making a last stand. Could this be part of this whole standoff that Father Gabe has going? We think so. This next moment tells another story though, as stormtroopers are behind a calm-looking Carol. Are these Mercer's men? Will the soldiers all stand down and let our survivors take down the governor? We believe they will, and the stormtrooper fighting won't be super intense. This photo here seems to again suggest that there are stormtroopers on Team Carol who look pretty confident in this moment. The last picture we want to look at is the one that shows us a possible major death. When you first see this, you think that it's just a random shot from the cliffhanger in the last episode, right? We did too until we looked down on the ground. Tell us that isn't Luke. If it is, he sure ain't taking a nap. This seems to be a death confirmation. How did AMC let this one get by? They're going to need a plumbing division in the future if they ever want to handle their leak problem. Could this be a fake out? We really don't think so. This seems to confirm our source from our last video that said Luke and Jules will die, but we'll talk more about that later. If you didn't get a chance to see it, you should watch the making of the final season of The Walking Dead special. We get all kinds of great behind the scenes shots and learn interesting things about the sound design and live orchestra that the show used for scoring in this last season. We also love seeing a super young Greg Nicotero. This guy is this generation's zombie godfather, and we were reminded he directed this finale and the majority of the other ones over the years. The special goes into the pre-pandemic era of the show and talks about the cast and crew's collective reactions to the final season announcement, which definitely includes some emotional moments.
I haven't really accepted that it's over, I don't think, to be honest.
There are some rumors going around the spoiler sites that the spin-offs are essentially the 12th season of the show that they had planned, but we haven't seen much evidence to back up those claims. The one potential spoiler we did manage to get from this featurette was a very short-haired version of Carol, which again matches the spoilers we feel have the biggest chance of being right. We know this is not a confirmation and that Carol could have gotten a haircut after being wrapped and then done the interviews post-series with shorter hair, but we don't think so. Is this proof the set of spoilers we believe are true are real? We don't know, but we still had a lot of fun watching the special. It really is the end of an era, people. In celebration of that final episode, AMC is pulling out all the stops on The Talking Dead, where it's going to be a huge red carpet Hollywood pre-show event 30 minutes before the episode starts. We're still trying to get a list of exactly who's showing up, but definitely expect past and present all-stars from the show. After the finale, expect a massive, tear-jerking recap from Chris Hardwick and a multitude of special guests. Now, let's talk about the other main spoilers out there and the evidence that we found which we think disproves them. To be clear, there are even more sets of spoilers going around, but this next alleged leak is the biggest one we've heard of besides the one we've already covered. In the past week, you may have heard about Aaron, Gabe, and Eugene being killed and seen this screenshot. We've seen this ourselves and had it sent to us by multiple sources. We initially did not believe these screenshots mainly because of the runtime. If the show is 90 minutes with commercials, there's no way it's going to be over 87 minutes with the commercials cut. We also thought the Rick having amnesia part of these spoilers was super cliche, but we wouldn't put anything past Gimple. The one detail on these spoilers that made us pause was Pamela telling the CRM to bomb the Commonwealth. That does sound possible. Either way, we found one of the first people to post this screenshot on Reddit and we looked into their account. The outcome wasn't great. This user has an account barely over a year old and almost no karma. This tells us it's probably an alt throwaway account. The other posts were interesting by this person as well. We got this shot which says Rick's name is in the credits of the finale opening, implying someone out there has the full episode. We were able to trace this photo back to a video that was an alleged leak of the final episode's intro, but multiple people pointed out errors with the score and title cards implying a fake. The person posting that video said it came from Instagram. We looked back farther and we saw what seems to be the nail in the coffin of this source's credibility. Here's a set of leaks that this same person said was also a TWD script leak that came from a deleted IG post. This version of spoilers seems to be the first draft of what this source dropped for the finale. First it said Lance is connected to the CRM, but he died, so they changed it to Pamela. It says Carol will die saving Judith from a Walker Sebastian, but Walker Sebastian is dead, so that spoiler is just gone from the list. Both say Rosita died with Coco, although Rick's story ends differently in the newer version. Either way, in our eyes, this post completely disproves this source, especially due to the fact that all these posts came from some shadow IG account. If the alleged leaker does have any insider info, they're still mostly memeing and toying with all of the hardcore fans out there. We're not saying this Reddit user is the source, but whoever the source is, they are lying or playing games with us while we have seen additional proof to verify the source that we believe has given us at least partially credible spoilers. Finally, let's talk about one of the main reasons why you came. The source we covered last video just gave us an update on the Rick Grimes situation. If for some reason you don't want to know, now is your last chance to leave, because it's
Spoiler time.
Just before we get into the Rick news, we'd like to ask if you enjoyed the video so far to drop a like down below. It only takes a second, people, and we would appreciate it greatly. We have been monitoring the source for the potential true finale leaks on Reddit, and we are glad we did, as they just dropped an alleged truth bomb on us since most of us have believed Rick is coming back for some time now. The leaker says that their source on the inside confirmed what we all believed, that they filmed a pickup scene with Rick back in August. This is strange to us since he was in town months before during the filming of the final episodes, but we are almost wondering if this means Rick will be in 2 scenes. Either way, we are taking this as more proof of Rick's return. In light of an AMC confirmation, this might be as much as we're going to get, people. The other piece of info we get is that the scene Rick was in was filmed using the same studio where the Commonwealth is. Sadly, we don't have any other info on that scene. We believe this is great news, people. We think this confirms Rick, and it even gives us hope for 2 Rick scenes. We also know there have been many fake spoilers, so we aren't trying to get your hopes up. We're just telling you what we think. Remember, we aren't the source and never claim to be, so if things don't go down the way these spoilers say, don't be super surprised. Whatever happens, we just want that killer ending that we waited so long for, and some real closure on the real star of the show, Dog. Thanks so much for watching our videos, everyone. As always, we're on the lookout for any new promo videos or potentially leaked spoilers to help prove or disprove all the rumors out there about our favorite show where you can get brought back after being gone most of the season just to get killed off, The Walking Dead. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Binge Rampage. Click the notifications bell for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out, and don't forget to subscribe.
But we didn't know when we started this that this would be the day everything changed forever.